Roll left. Flight controls. Flight controls.
To me, in field 1-1, request startup. Enfield 1-1, to me, cleared for startup. To me, in field 1-1, request taxi to runway. Enfield 1-1, to me, clear to taxi to runway 31. 2, rolling.
Altitude. Altitude. Pull up, pull up! Pull up, pull up!
Toomey, in field, 1-1. Request startup.
Enfield 1-1. Toomey, cleared for startup.
Toomey, in field, 1-1. Request taxi to runway.
Enfield 1-1. Toomey, cleared to taxi to runway 31. Enfield 1-1. Toomey, you are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 30.
Toomey, in field, 1-1. For takeoff. Toomey, in field, 1-1. For takeoff. Toomey, in field, 1-1. Request takeoff.
Enfield 1-1. Toomey, you are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 29.89.
Altitude. Altitude. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Altitude.
Atumi, in field 1-1. Request startup.
Enfield 1-1. Atumi, cleared for startup.
Atumi, in field 1-1. Request taxi to runway.
Enfield 1-1. Atumi, cleared to taxi to runway 31.
Altitude. 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 Pull up. Pull up. Altitude. Altitude. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Altitude. Altitude. Pull up.
The anti-skid and spoiler is in
Later
the
on.
off. Oh, yeah,
It's
okay.
by standard in the off position, so
Okay. And then we want to go to the hydraulics system. So to the single.
make sure the isolate switch is in the isolate position so you don't find the
Isolate,
pump
yeah.
while starting the engine.
Yeah.
And make sure the ACLS master switch is on.
Okay. So that's
Right,
it.
That's about it. Also the three electric switches for the displays on the right side console.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's pretty
Then
much
we're
it for the
crank
front seat.
right engine.
Exactly. Right engine first. Wait until the RPM reaches around 20%.
Oh, you guys
As
are flying
indicated
the
by the
F-18,
RPM
huh?
bar.
14.
14.
Oh,
I'm in the
F-14.
F18.
Oh, okay. Fuck yeah. How's that Tomcat, bro?
It's
The
sexy,
second mark.
motherfucker.
Yep.
I'm pulling up to you
When
guys.
the crank switch returns to the middle position, you can starting up the left engine.
I am making my way downtown.
There you go. Now you can switch it to left, wait for 20% RPM, and throttle to idle.
What are you guys like? What loader do you guys have? What do you guys use?
Don't think we have any loader right now.
I'm running guns only right now.
Got a single
Alright.
loader and someone calling his name 7s. I need to figure out how to use them 7s properly and double check that I know how to use them 20s.
Okay, both engines are almost running. There you go. Stabilized RPM. Now, above and to the left of the RPM indication, you have both your altimeters.
Huh?
Hey
The
guys,
left
if
one
you're
is the-
watching this and you are curious about how starting up a F18, listen to him. Or the F14, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I figured out how to start the F18. I probably did mess something up, but hey.
It sounds very similar.
I'll figure that out later.
Is the startup something like that?
So
Huh?
radar altimeter, exactly, via that turning knob, just scroll up and the radar altimeter is gonna come online. Via that little arrow you're controlling with that turning knob, you select the warning altitude.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, if you descend below that altitude, it's gonna beep at you like hell.
Yeah. Okay.
For carrier takeoff, it's gonna be set to 40 feet. For carrier landing, you set it to 370 feet. Which is gonna give you a nice little warning indication telling you you are in the right profile. It should come on in the middle of the final turn for lineup.
Okay.
Okay, to the right of
450
that,
push to test,
altimeter. Set
Altimeter.
correct QNH, which is standby. Let me check
Yeah.
the briefing.
How do you find the QNH?
And the briefing at the very
Oh.
bottom in the weather section.
Let's see.
2972 is the QNH on the server right now for this mission. So,
Did someone just
Exactly.
drive straight through me with an F18?
29 what?
2972.
Wait, I'm sorry, what did you say?
2972, you said?
Yep.
Somebody said something about...
And I was just taxiing, and all of a sudden, some
Okay.
guy just drove straight through me. Didn't dice, man.
that's...
At the altimeter, on the lower right corner, you have a 2-position flick switch. Right click and hold to get the altimeter to reset out of standby mode into normal operation. You see the standby flag disappear. Okay, now you can let it go. Alright. Currently we don't have any missile loaded, but anyway, just for training purposes, in the middle, right in front of you below the HUD, you have 3 switches. Gun rate, sidewinder cool, and missile preparation.
Oh, yeah.
Set sidewinder cool and missile prep to on.
Field 1-1. Request
Gun
startup.
rate to according to whatever you like as your gun firing rate.
Field 1-1.
High, of course.
Clear for startup.
Okay, you better aim good.
In field 1-1. Request
Alright,
taxi to runway.
now moving to the right. On the right side of your instrument panel, you have the standby
Oh my god, my
ADR.
game is lagging out just passing you guys. Holy shit.
Click the knob to uncage the standby ADR. There you go, flag disappeared.
So you don't have to set this?
Now it's already set perfectly.
Okay.
Alright, below that to the right, there's your radar warning receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And below that, you have your hook lever.
Mm-hmm.
To the right of that, you have your gun rounds counter.
Flight. Join up.
It's by standard set to 0, but we have 660 rounds of ammunition loaded, so you gotta scroll that up until it's reached 660. You can also click it and just move your mouse up.
Who's in the F16?
There you go.
Soul Tactical orders, that's it.
Are you in the training server?
That beeping, by the way, was the radar altimeter completing its test.
Oh.
Yeah, the radar altitude?
Yep, that beeping indicated its bit test is complete and it's working.
So whenever I turn it on, it will do the build-in test?
Yep, you can
Itself?
also click the turning knob to
Field
do
1-1.
the test yourself.
Request takeoff.
Click and hold, and it should move all the way up, down to, yeah, okay, just to 100, and the green light is coming on, indicating it's working. Okay, now we are pretty much set from the pilot perspective. Now I gotta do some stuff in the backseat.
Okay.
Which Jester's usually gonna do for you.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, we forgot something. Both engines are running. On your right side panel,
Mm-hmm.
below the master caution lights, you have your generator controls, like left generator, right generator, and the emergency generator. And below that, you have a vertical row of 5 push buttons. That's your air source.
This is the
Send it
air
to-
source. Oh, for air conditioning.
Yeah, and equipment cooling. Set it to both engines.
Yeah.
Okay, now the hydraulic isolate switch we just enabled earlier on, just flick the cap down. Both engines are running now and we have hydraulic pressure. Okay, flicking the cap down is automatically gonna disable the switch below it.
Yep.
Okay. Now everything's good to go from the pilot seat. Just gotta do some stuff in the back. Countermeasures are very useful sometimes. Okay, I now switch the WCS weapon control system to standby. It's gonna take about 30 seconds for the displays to come online. In the back. If you switch your lower display selection switch to TIT, the HSD mode switch on the right side panel, or side console, you should see the TIT coming online. Yeah, it's online now.
What is
Now
TIT?
Touch input display. Pretty much an information relay system displaying waypoints as well as the radar cone, as well as visual information of radar contacts, depending on the radar mode I'm in the back. Remember, there's a reason why the F18 has a guy in the back.
Yeah.
So, let me align the INS.
I know this. There's 4 stages of the INS line.
Yeah, but we have stored heading available. So actually only one stage is gonna take some time.
Oh.
The rest will just zoom through. See that ASH indication on the top right corner of the TIT?
ASH, yeah, yeah.
That's your stored heading indication.
Oh.
Automated stored heading, I think it says. But it's not always coming on. That's some weird stuff to know about, but if for example you cancel a stored heading as alignment, but you still have a stored heading alignment available, the second time that indication is not going to be displayed and you can only see it in the computer address panel in the back. Even though you're doing a stored heading alignment. But for normal purposes, if your rear doesn't fuck things up, you're going to see that ASH indication. Now it's moving up to the first mark. It's gonna take the normal time for the INS to generally get an alignment.
So when I
The
start
rest
off
of
with
the
this,
stages are gonna zoom through. Zoom now, it's speeding forward.
Oh, yeah, I see, yeah.
NWS, is that a bad thing?
When it turns to a diamond, that's indicating you have a minimum weapon launch alignment. Now it's turning to a diamond with a dot in the middle, a caret.
So
That
that's a
indicates
full
we have
INS.
a full alignment, a reference alignment called. A reference alignment can be used to save a stored heading for a later stored heading alignment, like maximum precision. I'm gonna switch that to INS and I gotta input the magnetic variation. Which I have done now, BM plus 7. Right then, now we ready for taxi on my part. I just need to lower the canopy. Also, you might want to arm your ejection seat.
Oh, yeah. That's... Oh,
Yeah, that's
fuck,
a
that's a
problem.
long way up there in AVR.
Left shift and E is the
Oh,
key
you can do
button.
that. Okay.
Now I'm closing the canopy. You can also do that from the front via left control C.
Are we flying together or?
We can
Take it
try, but
together?
Gotta ask my
I don't know what to
pilot.
do here. I'm laggy as fuck.
Yeah.
Yo, like what do you have to do when you're what is it called? When you're flying as a Rio?
A lot.
Radar.
It's like pretty much all navigation, right?
You're operating everything the pilot's not operating.
You just got when you're a Rio, you just gotta sing. You lost that love and feeling.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, you're busy with operating the ARC-9 radar, you are busy with operating the countermeasures, you're tasked with navigation, you have to set up the weapon systems correctly.
Well, shit, man. It seems like that's like easy breezy for the pilot.
Yeah, boy.
You guys about to start taxiing?
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay,
Try.
I'll be getting up. Oh, there's 2 other F14s in this guy right now. Trying to
so
fuck
yeah,
with
long
those
story
steel
short,
ones.
you are also tasked with maintaining situational awareness,
Yeah, I figured.
like handling the
Sounds about right.
RWR, knowing what the hell is going on around you, operating the jammer,
You're also
operating
doing
the
visual
comms.
checks, right, for incomings and whatnot.
Yeah, that's when you go within visual range, you hand off to the
Controls
pilot,
are good to go. I'm not getting fucked.
then you just keep an eye out for
Trim is set.
bandit and
Bucks are good. Hook. not
launching
good.
countermeasures if needed,
Right.
Harness.
as well as maintaining situational awareness.
One.
Also, you are gonna call out airspeed and, depending on your height, the altitude to the pilot.
Huh.
So he
So the
doesn't have
pilot's
to
pretty
look
much
down.
just
A taxi driver, yes.
like yeah.
Basically. High G taxi driver.
I mean, have you
Yeah.
seen the backseat in the F14? Let me just enable my stream.
And we're
Oh,
rolling.
I gotta see this. Let's see.
Whee! I'm taking off right now.
Peter, that's you who's streaming, right? Or is
Yep.
it back? Okay, gotcha.
Welcome to the backseat.
This is your house.
Roll left, roll left.
Those are your radar controls here up front, filter,
control.
target aspect, or
Flight
target
control.
size rather, filter switch, automatic gain control, not model correct currently, gain switches
shit.
for the radar and PD, as well as jammer resistance and ACM threshold. You have your actual radar display right in the middle here, you have your aspect, your pretty much zoom scale of the radar. By the way, we are ready for taxi.
Okay, I'll try.
Damn.
We have
Yeah, I
radar
like
mode
the sound.
switches to the right.
Parking brake.
You know what?
You have your
Personally, though,
touch
I
input
feel like
display,
I'd
you
be
have a
terrified
joystick.
to be the Rio, because not having the control on the weapons and stuff, just sitting there waiting, like the worst case
You
scenario.
have control of the weapons.
Wait.
See that big red button?
Okay, so the pilot just flies.
Yeah, the pilot can also fire. He's got a launch switch too, but in beyond visual range scenarios, mostly the Rio is gonna fire. Because the Rio is gonna make sure you fire at the right thing.
Right.
Yeah, what he said.
That makes sense.
Only the sidewinder can only be fired by the pilot. Which makes sense because the pilot needs to acquire a lock with the sidewinder. Yeah, and then you have a nice little 70s computer panel here. With multiple categories.
70s.
You have your comms, you have your radar controls, as well as the television camera set controls. You have a nice little ejection lever, which you can use to shoot both of you out. Your radar cooling, as well as missile cooling. TACAM panel, radar beacon panel, used for ACLS landings. Some more comms, TACAM command switch, oxygen, jammer, RWR. Oh yeah, by the way, beeping party.
Oh
Data
shit.
link panel.
Are you getting
Line
locked onto?
controls.
Or am I getting locked onto?
IFF controls. Countermeasure controls. Circuit breakers, which are not modeled yet.
Is there an AWACS? Sorry, button.
Yep.
How do you use it? Like, how do you tell them to like give you warnings and stuff?
In the F14 or the 18?
18.
You tune to the correct frequency and then you talk to him.
How do you?
If you want data link symbology enabled in your F18, if you look at your UFC right in front of you with the numpad keys,
It's the one
at the
that's-
lower edge you have 6 black buttons: AP, IFF, TCN,
I've already set
Go on.
those up.
You need the middle four, IFF, TCN, ILS, and DL. Click each of them and press the on/off.
I've already turned all them on. They're all on.
Alright,
just don't know
if
which
your
frequency.
DL is set to on, you're gonna get data link symbology.
Okay. I see now. Oh yeah, crap! I just see a lot of stuff now on the radar as well. Someone spotted I. Might be me.
So yeah, that's your basic video controls on the back. You have your HCU stick, which you can set to 4 separate modes. Currently it's set to TID cursor. I can also set it to DDD cursor, radar, as well as TCS or IRTV.
Jesus.
Is there any way to know if what you're looking onto is friendly or enemy?
Yep, you
Yeah.
have a nice little IFF button.
I've actually realized I don't think I've actually set that. Turned that on.
Oh, you mean in the F18?
Yeah.
Go to air-to-air master mode.
Yep.
Press SCS to the left.
I don't know.
Sensor control switch left.
Okay.
Your left display should switch to the azimuth elevation page, which is pretty much a bore side representation of the radar. And on the lower edge, lower left corner of the display, you have L+S interrogation as well as auto interrogation. You might want to box auto interrogation so it automatically interrogates every target it sees in 10 seconds intervals. You can also do a manual interrogation by slewing the cursor over the target you want to interrogate, then pressing the SCS switch down, followed by SCS to the right within 1 second.
Yep. What does in LAR mean again?
In launch range.
Okay. Thank you. Search 27.
That's pretty much telling you you're in maximum launch range, not optimum launch range.
What's that, my love?
Oh, I killed someone. Oh, it's enemy as well, so that's nice.
Okay, so back to the F14. Our wings are swept fully back in the oversweep position.
Yes.
Next to your throttle, you have a big, dead handle, all the way forward. And right click. Now close the cover. Now above that you have a small little round button, which is the master reset switch. That one. Click it once. And now you set your wing sweep mode to automatic. Currently it's set to manual oversweep. Full back sweep. Now your wings are coming forward and the automatic wing sweep control has control over the wings.
Okay.
Now for a land takeoff, set your maneuvering flaps to down via the DLC thumb wheel.
Funny name.
Alright.
So I have a button for the flaps.
Those are your actual flaps. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the maneuvering flaps.
Is that the DLC? No?
Yep. You use the DLC thumb wheel, which you also use to control the DLC while landing, to lower the maneuvering flaps, which are only the forward slats.
Assuming in field 1-1. Request startup.
You can also check that in the
it's aft,
control.
right? Yeah.
They're full forward, those things. You can also check that in the control surfaces indicator.
Where's that?
Above the gear level.
In field 1-1. Request taxi to runway.
Yep. Okay, so if I push it forward, it'll go on.
Yeah, exactly.
So we want it down?
You want it down.
Extra maneuverability?
Yeah, they will come down automatically for extra maneuverability if you are, if it's slow enough. And for takeoff, you can set them manually via the DLC function. Okay, we are good to go for takeoff.
So I'll never use like flaps for takeoff?
On carrier takeoffs, you might want to use flaps. But on land-based takeoffs, you usually don't.
When I'm taking off from land, top of land for the F-18, I just put the flaps up to auto and then back down to half.
You just set them to half and make sure you press the button to set the stabilizer to perfect reset.
I'm head over the MiG and I still miss every shot. That's actually sad.
Yo, Peter, this mission is gonna be fucking hard, man.
Good for us.
No, I mean, it's gonna be really fucking hard. We're gonna need quite a few people.
Let me just get this shit done real quick. I'm trying to get some raw content for something I'm working on, and then I'll jump in with you guys.
Alright, so F14A, you can use the afterburner for takeoff, but you don't have to. We are pretty light right now, so mill power is enough.
What the?
So mill is here.
Mill is throttles all the way forward, but not in the afterburner
Oh,
descent.
so right before. Okay. Okay.
You can also use afterburner if you like. Not in the F14B, because the engines are too powerful.
Yep.
In the case of a potential engine out scenario, the afterburner of the remaining engine in the F14B is going to be too strong and it will tip you over no matter what you do.
Okay.
Also, you will melt the runway.
So I don't know where.
Around about 150 knots. Give it steady upward movement.
Wow!
Yeah, it's very bouncy on takeoff. Gear up. The zero wing flaps will come out automatically. Once the airspeed is ready.
So this is an aircraft where I have to trim all the time, right?
Yes, all the time. You have a variable wing sweep geometry, so the position of the wings is gonna change according to airspeed.
Yeah,
And
right.
that's also gonna upset your aerodynamic balance, so you need to trim.
Here we go. Oh, here we go.
Okay, lower the nose, accelerate to 300 knots, and maintain a steady climb at 300 knots. At mill power. And just leave the throttle where it is, nose down until we reach 300 knots.
Bro, I'm losing a dogfight to an aircraft that's not even armed.
Oh my
Yeah, because it's slow as hell.
Something's wrong
I
with
know,
my
I'm still
fucking
trying to learn how
rotors.
to do this. It's stupid.
All right.
So it's giving me a big ass like red, like an X. Does that mean I'm too close? I'm guessing.
Yes.
Whatever, I'm looking onto him. Okay. Well, I'll just kill the kid.
What server are you guys in? Training server?
Yeah.
Roger.
I'm about to hop on through the Inferno. Just need to double check that I know how to do this.
Where are we spawning?
We spawned a Sakumi
Sakumi, gotcha.
because we're just that cool. You know. I'm trying to. Do you guys like the M7s or whatever they're called? The Fox ones or semi-active radar?
I'm sorry?
Do you guys like? What do you guys think about the M7s or whatever they're called?
The M7, is it?
That you have to keep a lock all the time.
Arrows.
Fox 1, sir.
Yeah, are they good or all or?
Well, if you know how to use them, yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the enemy you're engaging. I wouldn't try engaging a flanker with that.
Oh,
yeah.
of course.
But if you're up against some MiG-21s or F5s, yeah, sure, that's the factor solution.
Yeah, I just use that on C101.
Wait.
C101!
Great plane, would recommend 10 out of 10, though Albatross is better.
Oh,
C101!
Alright,
If
now I'm gonna do air to ground with my plane. And by that I mean my Mavericks are my planes. It's my plane.
Fucking
Okay, now we're
Mavericks.
gonna set us to the data link frequency, so we actually see stuff on the touch input display.
Sakumi.
Just now set, contact should start appearing any second.
Cool.
There we go.
Backslash to.
Yes, please.
Just get this.
Also,
I
gonna
still
switch
have
up
my
our radar.
my McDonald's sandwich. Thank you, baby.
Okay, so
You guys are insane, Sakumi.
Whoa!
All right, so what are we flying?
What just happened?
what do you like? Currently Tomcat and Hornet. Okay,
Hornet it is.
I'm gonna be
Tomcat
flying
flight
the Beacon.
characteristics. Do you have rudder pedals?
Yes.
Perfect. The Tomcat is a special airplane. First of all, if you look at the control surfaces in the back, it's not set up like a normal aircraft. Normal aircraft have elevators, ailerons, and rudder. The elevators control pitch, the things in the back. The ailerons, at the back of your wings respectively, control the roll. And the rudder controls the yaw.
The yaw.
The F-14 doesn't have such a setup. It only has rudder and elevons. Rudder controls the yaw, obviously, but the elevons control pitch and roll.
Udon the noodle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which
us?
means if you are in a high
Nice to meet
AOA
you, Jet.
situation, for example in a dogfight, and you're pulling like hell to stay behind that guy at the edge of what the airframe can do, you are using 100% control deflection, short of stalling, for pitch, which means 0% is left for roll.
Angel 1-1 starting up.
That's not good.
So even
Copy.
if you yank the stick all the way to the left or right while pulling all the way back, just not gonna roll, because the control surfaces have 0% deflection left for roll.
Wait.
So you're gonna need to
Okay.
use rudder.
Uh-huh. With
Don't
the
even try to roll the airplane with the stick if you're in high AOA situations.
Okay.
She has ailerons though, for helping with that.
Let's try that. Put it in afterburner and pull a tight circle. Like you're in a dogfight and you really wanna keep behind that bandit. Keep pulling at 7 or 8 Gs, as much as you can manage, before it
Oh,
stalls.
shit.
Use the rudder to keep the airplane rolling in the right direction. Don't use the stick left or right, only the rudder. Pull harder, pull harder, pull harder.
Yank it.
Roll left, roll
Yank
left.
it!
See,
Do you
need to
wanna
use the
work?
rudder.
Controls. Flight
Oh,
controls.
shit.
Yeah. Takes some practice to get used to, but you need to use the rudder, not the stick for roll. The stick's not gonna do anything unless you ease it off.
Oh yeah, dude, I learned that the hard way, but I learned it. Hey, well, once you get the hang of it, it's like a whole different game.
Oh, no.
Don't be afraid of kicking the pedal if needed to.
I think they're actually too sensitive. Can I change that?
Wait. You actually have pedals. Sick.
Out of afterburner? Alright.
Sensitive.
Oh, wow.
Major
That's hard.
pains.
That's
Okay,
the most
so-
important thing in dogfights. Use the rudder to roll, if you're using the stick all the way for pitch.
Okay.
Roll
Okay.
is only gonna work if you ease the stick forward.
That's right.
Jesus, surrounded by 13-year-olds.
Fuck, it
Alright.
annoys me that I only have 10 frames, dude.
Yeah. Okay, so next up, flight characteristics F-14. Because of the variable wing sweep geometry, you're gonna have some pretty interesting yaw characteristics. At low speeds, when the wings are fully forward, it's gonna display adverse yaw. Meaning, if you bank to the left, your nose is gonna go right.
And you're gonna
Uh-huh.
die.
So you need to give it left rudder input to keep it stable.
Fucking tack hand.
At high speeds, wings are fully back, it's the opposite. Proverse yaw, which means bank left, nose is gonna go left, more than you like.
What?
So you need to give it right rudder.
Oh,
Just a little bit. Not to upset the airframe. Try it out
so
now, we are currently in a low
wanna
speed
do this?
situation. You see the nose is going in the left direction, even though you're
Oh,
banking
wow.
right.
So I should do it when I straighten up too?
Well, the same thing. Wings are forwards, give it pedal in the direction you're banking.
Should I keep the pedal? No. Just for the turn in?
Just for the turn. Try to do it in such a way that the airframe doesn't try to wobble. That's when you know you got the correct amount of rudder. See, we are wobbling left and right.
Yo, you guys better be a strong cap in this mission because we got Su-30s, MiG-29Ss,
S, Jesus.
In the
we
fucking
got
training
fucking-
server?
and we got MiG-31s as well.
Holy shit!
What are you in,
Okay,
Georgia
so
War?
the rudder
Wait, you're Georgia at
characteristics
war
are
or you're
not
or the
that
training server?
important if you're just
No,
flying at normal speeds and trying to get from point A to point B. If you are in a
it's
very low speed situation, for example landing on a carrier,
'Cause I'm
it's
probably
even
gonna have
more
to get out of
important.
here.
it's a mission I'm doing.
It's more what? It's more
Oh wait,
difficult?
you're doing your own
More
mission?
important
Well, I'm doing a
because
mission
the
for all
water's
of us.
even
Yeah.
more.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. You're still working on the your mission editing. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I'm just making a mission for all of us. I'm just testing it out. Looks
Sick.
sick.
Sick,
Just
sick.
try it out, get comfortable with the
Yeah.
rudder characteristics.
I play with the mission editor. So sometimes I'll spend more time on that
Oh, man, me
than
too.
actually flying. Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what? I got SA-10s, SA-11s. We're gonna need to defeat. So it's a short range, but it's literally it's a massive base just loaded with shit.
Throw in some air to air. I don't really fucks with the air to ground. Well, I mean, I heard that there is air to air. I'm just saying.
There's both. There's air to ground, seed. There's a massive base we're literally gonna blow up.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Hey!
I literally created an airspace around an enemy base, and as soon as we penetrate that airspace, we're gonna be having a massive response.
So, you might have noticed the harder you bank, in other words, the more you put the stick to the left or right, the more rudder you need to keep it stable.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a really good idea what I'm gonna do. Oh yeah, that's a really good idea.
I need to fix this lag. It's so hard with the lag too.
That's, by the way, the main reason F-14As got lost back in the day. Because pilots were not using the rudder correctly. They were banking hard because, hell yeah, I'm in a fighter jet, but they didn't use the rudder.
Oh wow.
So the nose got upset, pointing very far to the left or right, which induced a compressor stall on the outboard engine.
Oh.
And then the airframe tipped over because they didn't know how to correct it.
Wow.
They got panicked, at low altitude especially, slammed the remaining engine throttle forward, which induced an asymmetric thrust and yaw movement and tipped the airframe over even more in the direction you're already, well, yawing.
Then you're just gonna spin. Spin.
Then you're gonna tip over, because at some point the nose can't go much further to the right without actually inducing a roll movement, and suddenly you're gonna roll over all the way 180 degrees, very fast. That's how Kara Haltgren got killed.
Oh, wow. That's a scary plane, actually.
Yep. Well,
well,
actually,
yeah.
she lined up for the carrier. That was the first female F-14 pilot, by the way, Kara Haltgren. She lined up with the carrier, was a little off lineup, tried to correct with rudder only, which is not what you're supposed to do, which induced a very big yaw moment at low speed, which caused a compressor stall on the inboard engine. Well, you know, the one that's suddenly not getting any air anymore because the nose is in the way. And suddenly you tip over even more at low speed situations because the thrust is just too great, and off you go into the drink.
Oh wow.
Nose goes even more to the left or right, suddenly you roll over because you're aerodynamically unstable and you find yourself upside down at 200 feet.
That's not good.
Yep.
Wow.
E101!
The Rio actually managed to get out because of the ejection sequence. The Rio always gets shot out about half a second before the pilot.
Yeah.
He ejected at around 80-degree bank angle, I think, but she got ejected upside down into the water.
That's brutal.
So yeah, that's low speed characteristics. I suggest we speed up a little, make sure the wings move back, use the afterburner, and try out the same thing again. See how the airplane reacts.
That keyboard, man.
Wings are steadily moving back. You will notice you have to correct with pitch, or trim rather.
Trim, yeah.
Okay, wings are all the way back. Now try rolling. See?
Oh no.
Nose is moving
Oh
in
no.
the direction you're banking. So you lightly need to correct with opposite rudder. Just a
Well, that's
very
hard.
slight amount.
I think I need to turn down the...
Yeah, you might want to give it some curvature so you have more fine control in the middle range.
Shit, can I do this here?
Sure, just trim the airplane out, go to adjust
Oh,
controls.
shit. Does this have autopilot?
Yes, it has. If you look to your left side panel, below the AFCS control switches,
Request
you have an
refueling.
altitude and heading
Oh,
hold
yeah.
switch. Just
Request rearming.
before you enable any of them, trim the
Mhm.
airplane out. Make sure you have a stable speed, so the wing doesn't want to sweep.
Refueling complete.
Think I'm stable?
Perspective, we are climbing at 5,000 feet per minute.
Oh shit. That's right. You wanna go down?
Gotta get that vertical speed to around 0. Autopilot is only gonna engage at plus or minus 200 feet per minute.
Flight controls.
Doesn't wanna engage, just give it a little down trim so it likes to move just slightly down with the nose. That's looking good. Okay, now
Rearming complete.
altitude hold and AP engage switch on. Second from the left and the rightmost switch.
There you go. Altitude?
And
And
now
then
you need to
request
press
rearming.
the AP ref button. If you look in front of
Copy.
you, below the HUD, lower left warning indication shows AP ref.
Below the hut? To the left?
Yeah, and the HUD display. Below the HUD display. Not showing any. Make sure the autopilot main switch is engaged. Your sleep is pretty. Yeah, you
Oh,
press
it's
the
this one.
AP engage main switch. Now you have an AP ref line next to the upper display.
No?
Above the HSI or the HUD brightness,
Oh, right there, yeah. In
Yep.
front of my face, yes.
which means you need to press the AP ref button.
What's that? Oh no.
Should be bound to your joystick somewhere. You do it according to Chuck's guide, you have the button.
Is it the nose wheel steering?
Yeah, no sweet steering.
Okay, I just pressed that. It disappeared.
Disappeared. Perfect. Yeah, it actually switched on. You see the airplane is now trying to, well, get zero vertical velocity speed on its way.
Oh wow. That's cool. Rudder pedals.
Yep.
So I just added a little curvature.
Yeah, give it about a 10 curvature. Maybe 15 if you like. Whatever you feel comfortable. If you need to try it out for yourself,
Yeah, I
see
need
which works best for you.
So when I need to disengage the autopilot, I just need to go to the altimeter and just check it off.
Yeah, you need to disable the AP main switch, the rightmost autopilot switch. It's also gonna automatically disable all the other switches.
Ah, fuck!
You know what? You know what, man? As soon as we are detected in the enemy airspace, we're gonna stare up a fucking hornet's red nest, man. Shit. I'm just looking at the mission and the reaction, what fucking happened. It's just that whole base just wakes up, man. I don't want to spoil the... That's gonna be fucking mad.
This is a lot better.
Yep, there you go. More fine control in the nearest range.
There you go.
Being able to use the rudder correctly is the most important skill in the F-14. Especially when you're trying to land on a carrier. The slower you are, the more she really wants that rudder.
Okay. Alright. We'll try the afterburner again.
Sure. Just try to turn back because we are moving out of the map.
What actually happens if you go outside the map?
Nothing, you just keep flying straight and suddenly the map becomes a lot less detailed. But we might want to be near airfields and actual scenery we can use to practice with carriers and stuff like that. And remember, the F-14 does have flight stability system, more or less, the AFCS. But it's not a fly-by-wire system. You can yank the stick back all the much you want. It's not gonna stop you. You can whip the wings off. And even before
You
you
can
whip
actually
the
do
wings
that?
off, yeah, sure, no problem at all. Sure. Even before that happens, you're gonna fuck the INS gyros at about 11 Gs.
Okay. So you actually have to like do really hard.
Just a matter of practice of how much you can pull the stick back. Yeah, we need to try it out. Currently we have peaked at 9 Gs. If you look at your right instrument panel, next to the fuel gauge you have an accelerometer.
This one? Oh yeah.
We've been doing negative minus 1.8 Gs and positive 9 Gs. Those are peak values.
I'm only at 8 Gs.
My perspective it's at 9. Let's see. Oh yeah, from your perspective it's showing 8, probably a little bit sick on holding the front. Yeah, you might want to keep that below 9 Gs. Really have to, you can also score 10 Gs, but remember at about 11 Gs your gyros of the INS will be fucked. You'll notice that if the HUD aircraft indicator, which shows your bank angle and pitch, suddenly shows you banking in some direction even though you're flying straight.
Oh.
And if you pull about 13 or 14 Gs, the wings will come off.
Well, I'm not gonna do that, I guess.
It's faster than you can think of, trust me.
Oh wow.
You just need to pull the stick back a little too much while not paying attention and off the wings go. Especially the instantaneous turn rate or the instantaneous reaction to this is pretty high.
So you wanna turn in slowly?
Just get comfortable with it. You can turn in or bank in as much as you like, but stick back deflection and stick forward deflection are just a matter of practice, not to peak out. If you can, try to do it gradually, slow but steady. Yanking it back is going to result in high peak values, even though you might settle out at just a 7 G zone. But the instantaneous peak will be maybe 15 Gs.
Oh. So, I need to use, when do I need to push the opposite rudder?
At high speeds.
So what is high speeds?
Wings are swept back.
Okay, so only when the wings is swept back.
Yeah, it's dependent on the wing geometry. If the wings are back, you need opposite rudder. If the wings are forward, you need rudder in the direction you're turning. By the way, we have fuel state 6 months. Okay, so just practice with the rudder. I'm going to be AFK for about 5 minutes, getting myself a new coffee.
Okay.
And remember, we are fuel state 6.7, so try not to use the afterburner.
We're gonna. Well, have a look in. I'm streaming what I'm doing, so I can have a look. Well, yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah.
4 out of 6 guys are screaming. Which kind of sound is this?
I just want to see that everyone is doing what they're supposed to be doing. This guy's gonna fucking launch. Responding on this shit. It would give us enough time to get in there and to strike them before they launch by the looks of it. Oh yeah, how do I fast forward in the mission editor? No, it's left shift plus or something. I can't remember.
Generally Cockpit and like really fast. So there's literally like I swear someone sent me a website called Into it. It's like a which basically lets you see all aircraft in the sky, including enemy aircraft.
Yeah, well you can set it up in the mission editor.
Does anyone know which mission from you have?
You can set that up in the mission editor.
And it's 400.
Yeah, the GCI.
Is that what it's called?
You can just look it on the, just type in Hoggit on the Google, and you can come into Hoggit's website.
Oh, so that shows you where it shows.
It shows you what the AWACS can see, yeah.
It's a Hoggit World.
Just go Hoggit GCI.
CGI.
Is it at board? There we go. Oh, thank you. I was having like a real struggle trying to find planes. I kept looking onto friends and almost killing friends.
I have no idea.
I just... shoot down their AWACS, they get affected. I know a lot of games that work shooting wise towards it.
Well, yeah, of course, you take the eyes away. Should be fine. I mean, realistically, they don't have ground radar.
But I know like a lot of the AI planes in general don't even use radar a lot of the time. I know like there's some fucked AI stuff, so I don't know. Well, this poor guy in the F-18 has got 3 that's following him.
On which server are you currently playing?
Hug it.
Yeah. Which
Peter's training me.
Purple.
I'm George. I'm about to go into Georgia at war. You wanna join? Fly. What do you fly?
F16, F14, F18, A10, Hind.
Oh shit, you're a mastermind.
You wanna fly A10? I mean F18.
Yeah, okay. Currently my joystick is unfortunately broken.
Over there.
So I can only fly in controller, but that's not a problem.
Okay. Never mind, I forgot I was gonna say mid-sentence. What I was about to say.
Causa!
Wolf, where are you from?
England, man.
Oh. Are you born and raised in England?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Wait, Viking, you're the Danish, right?
But you can
Yeah,
place
I'm
them.
the Danish.
You can place them on. Oh, and I've got the AVFB too. I forgot to mention it.
What part of Denmark?
Can you
You
just
from-
place them everywhere? I thought they would just work on the water, the carriers.
He's too good for them. He's too good for the water.
Ah, okay.
It's a land-based carrier. It's got tiny shopping cart wheels underneath.
It's
Ah, okay.
just too good to be true.
And you've got your
Can't take
1,500
my
sailors pushing it from the back, right? Oh, it's night.
It's got shopping cart wheels for shopping carts.
Are you starting from the Roosevelt or Stennis?
I'll have to see, mate. I'm not even loaded in, so give me about 3. Give me a second.
Roger.
Huh? Are you joining us? Ah.
So, unfortunately, there are only 4 slots. There's no slot left on the
F-18?
Roosevelt because everything is picked up by 4 guys.
Yeah, I noticed that.
So we gotta spawn on Stennis.
Huh?
We have to spawn on the Stennis.
You can spawn a Krasnodar.
Oh, yeah, let's spawn on Stennis. There's no
Wait, where's that? Where's that? Where's that?
CVN 74.
Oh, carrier? Wait, I'm not stupid. Is that carrier?
Yeah.
Fuck. I have no clue how to use that. Well, we'll find out. First time for everything.
So we have 3 guys, right?
It's black outside. Yeah.
Is every one of you in a slot for a carrier?
Yes. I'm somebody.
Battle Tactic, are you in a slot too? Roger.
Alright, I'm loading in already. I'm in the plane. I'm letting you know right now, I've never launched from a carrier before, so...
It's pretty easy.
Nor have I even been flown near a carrier, haven't even looked at a carrier. I can't see.
Viking.
Yep.
Ready for some landing practice?
Yeah, I'm just gonna set the autopilot and try and see if I can sort this leg out.
How do I turn on the
Give me 2
lights
seconds.
inside the cockpit?
The F-18?
The cockpit lights,
Yeah.
right side.
Billy.
You've got 5 knobs and they've got a green...
The front
Yeah,
two
just
ones are instrument and console backlighting, the
Just
lower ones are
put them
floodlight.
up. All.
It's got some like spiritual bell in the background.
And there's a warning caution dimmer. You don't need to turn it.
Okay.
Just the upper freeze, and the lower one is for floodlight.
Okay. I'm fully loaded for earlier, by the way. I'm very sorry. I didn't really catch what you said. Where is it again?
Or to the
Oh, there
lighting
it is.
controls on
Yeah.
the right console, next to your light.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, flood, stuff like that.
You also have a lighting mode switch, the 3-position switch on the right edge of the lighting panel. Day, night, and NVG. It pretty much does control the color of the backlighting, as well as the color of the IFEI engine controls.
021.
On the lower left of the instrument panel.
Keep pressing it. I have a minor problem.
Radar contact. Delta
My
992.
Enables the night floodlight green.
021.
Okay, I've got a minor problem, mate. The lights aren't turning on.
Because the engine isn't started.
That is okay, so you have to turn everything on. Okay.
Yeah, God.
The APU only
As
supplies
you-
enough power to
Do
keep the
you have
engine
like a
started.
flashlight so you can see
So
the
when
buttons?
you
Yeah,
would,
guys, I think this mission is ready, by the way.
so when you would turn on your whole lights inside the cockpit with only your APU and your battery,
Go ahead and DM me your IP and battery.
Oh, sketchy.
it's
Yeah, but we are gonna need a few of us to do this mission. It's fucking hard, man. Seriously, I need to ask some questions before I start it up because I don't know. I got too much enemy airborne shit happening, so
We will see. Let us just do some more landing practice and then we will probably be ready.
yeah, copy that. It's
Go.
nice. Black, actually. Yeah.
Okay, so.
so he
ready,
left.
Mike?
Wait a second.
Yeah, I can't do this better. I need to put my settings down or something. I don't know.
What are you trying to do right now?
Trying to get my FP up a little bit. I'm only doing 13 FPS in VR.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, okay.
You're using VR, right?
Yes.
Right. Do you have any applications running in the background?
No.
None at all.
No. So the weird thing is that I've been flying VR in the F-16 3 months and have no problems.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's VR optimized.
Oh. So
Yeah.
because it's the F-14. So it's
Yeah, it's
actually
the-
a thing. Okay.
The textures are very high
F16
resolution.
and F18 is VR optimized, and the not Hind, the Apache will be as well. So I've got the F16 too.
Uh-huh.
I haven't flown it VR because my stick is currently broken and getting repaired.
Okay.
Should be back in like a week, and then I'll try to fly it in VR. But well, it's just optimized, and
Okay.
the F14 isn't.
Might want
So
to
if I
turn
turn
down
down
the display
the-
resolution and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. The cockpit resolution. Yeah. Okay. I'll try that.
Maybe you should try to use the display resolution.
That's what
Oh,
really
should that
slows the
matter?
game down.
Yeah, turn it down to like 256.
Okay.
But you
I'll
can
try
only
that.
do that when you're not in game.
Yeah. I need to. Okay.
So check
Yeah.
if VSync is on or not. Should be off.
Is that in the DCS settings?
System settings of the options.
Okay. I'll try that. We can try a landing.
Yep. First of
I'll
all,
be honest. I have landed it 2 times. So
how did you land it?
on the ground.
I mean, just try to list the steps you have done.
Oh. Okay. I've gone into the path of the runway. Then I've
Or did
I've,
you set up the
deployed
airplane for landing?
Chief, remove the wheel chocks.
the what's it called, the right console here. I've done that to with the landing mode for the HUD.
Yep.
Then we do air brakes.
Yep.
And when we go to 280 knots, we'll do landing gear. What is it, 150 for the flaps? What?
225.
Also 200, okay. For the flaps, and then want to press the DLC.
Yep.
Okay, that's it. And you can. So
You got a
that's a pretty.
checklist on your left. Right in front of you. Left to the fire extinguisher.
Fuel fantastic. I don't know. I don't think.
Slowly up and down to around
021, commencing, state 2.0.
Should I go lower?
29.9 degree.
Because we are getting a very stable
That's it is.
Oh, someone was landing.
021.
So there's no flight path marker in the F14?
There is.
Oh, there is in the
So
landing,
effective.
right?
Yep.
Are you the guy next to me?
Yes.
Might want to switch to landing mode right now.
Gotta press U.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm doing my checks.
Okay.
Okay,
so
so
250.
if you look at the HUD, the landing symbology, on the left side you have a digital
021,
representation of
checking
your
in.
vertical
12
velocity.
miles.
Uh-huh.
021.
In the middle you have the aircraft indicator, which you know from the normal master
021.
modes, the actual airplane kind of thing with the dot in the middle,
Yep.
wings. And you have the flight path vector, the velocity vector.
Oh yeah, I see it.
A
Yeah.
little circle kind of thing with wings and tail.
Yeah.
Alright. The flight path vector is gonna indicate where you're actually going.
Request refueling.
The aircraft indicator is gonna be used to trim it out on speed. You will see what I mean later on. Okay, we are down to 220 knots round about. Drop the gear.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It's gonna create a lot of drag on the underside of the airplane, which will pull the airplane down. We will have to correct for that with pitch trim. Trim it out, so we are flying stable, straight ahead, 0 vertical velocity, maintaining altitude.
Let me go up a bit.
Yep.
So I don't want to go faster. No.
No. Keep the speed. You wanna slow down even more.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, ready to launch?
Angel
Right,
1-1,
trim up.
ready to launch.
Trim up so we maintain
Roger.
altitude.
Wait, I'm turning
Drop
at the
the
moment?
flaps.
You, let's get it.
Yeah.
021, airborne.
No. Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
more down there. We need to correct for that as well.
Altimeter 2992. 100.
Oh.
Now,
Eagle 1-1, wheeled up.
slowly reduce the throttle just a little bit. Actually, keep it where it is. We are already slowly slowing down.
2992.
Keep correcting with pitch trim.
100.
At some point, you will you will see an E bracket appearing from the top of the HUD.
021, passing 2.5 kilo.
Simply
1
looks like a
second.
021.
Yeah, it's coming down right now. Oh no.
You wanna align
100,
the middle of
passing
that E
2.5
bracket
kilo.
with your aircraft
Let's go
indicator.
for
The
080.
thing with wings.
0.
You do
Sorry for my
that
bad flying.
by correcting with pitch trim. It's a visual representation of your angle of attack.
So I need to go slower before it comes
Just
down.
a little bit slower, and well, it's gonna come down if you trim up. But you wanna maintain altitude while trimming up, so you need to go slower. You wanna increase your angle of attack.
Okay, let's get
Slow
up
and
to
steady.
25.
Roger that.
Trim is really hard to control.
You are currently in hard mode, by the way, because DLC is not engaged.
Oh.
You can also engage DLC if you like. It's gonna make things easier.
That's this button.
Wait, where's
Yep,
DLC?
there we go.
Oh wow.
Yep.
And trim.
Trim in
And
such a
trim.
way that the E-bracket is aligned with the aircraft indicator. It should be more or less aligned. Yep. Okay. Now, let go of the stick and control your vertical speed with the throttle only. Go for stable flight, zero vertical velocity. So you need more throttle for the vertical velocity to come up.
Uh-huh.
Only
Leveling?
use the throttle. Don't
that?
touch the stick.
Oh wow.
My barometric altitude isn't working. Nice.
That's the way you land a naval plane. A naval
Only with
fighter
the
jet.
throttle?
Yep.
Oh wow.
No pitch input unless you're in bad weather conditions. But try to mostly use the throttle only as your, well, control of vertical speed.
Order throttle
Yeah.
on 3 feet 30.
I dropped again.
And you
This is
need more
hard.
throttle. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. It's just a matter of practice. You will get good at it eventually. Just muscle memory. Correct a small amount with the throttle and wait for the airplane to react. Don't keep correcting with the throttle, like every half a second moving the throttle just a little bit, because the airplane simply doesn't have time to react. So now our vertical speed is dropping, so advance the throttle a little bit and see what the airplane does. Wait for the needle to stabilize.
Ah, now I can use barometric altitude.
Don't touch the
sorry.
throttle. Wait for the airplane to do stuff for you.
So now we're
It just
climbing.
disengaged.
Yes, and we will descend again.
So we want to decrease throttle? Just
No,
a little bit?
just
No?
watch what the needle is doing. See, it's coming down already. You need to give the airplane time.
Oh
So,
yeah.
currently only my autopilot is flying. I'm touching no buttons.
You gotta think in terms of average. Like, watch where the needle is pointing down the most, and watch what your maximum vertical velocity is, while the airplane tries to sort itself out. And then just take the middle value and you know your actual vertical speed. See, right now we are bouncing around the 0 mark, maybe just a little bit of positive vertical velocity. It's peaking at plus 900, now it's coming down again.
Also, it's not actually. So if I do like, if I go from 70 to 80%, it'll not stabilize at a climb.
Eventually it
should.
will.
Oh, okay.
Meet a 2-ship right in front of us up. What's it called?
Oh yeah, I see.
Frogfoot.
Eventually it will stabilize itself out, but she's just a very wobbly airplane with a lot of aerodynamic lift.
We're only doing 120 knots.
Yep.
Wow.
Disregard the speed. Don't look at the speed gauge.
Okay.
All you care about is your angle of attack.
Which is a little high now.
Yes, DLC is gonna change your trim. You
Oh, I've got a contact.
need to trim it down a little bit and correct with throttle.
Locked up the left one.
There you go. It's a nice stable correction. Our vertical velocity is staying pretty much where it is.
Oh wow.
Lost lock.
Now you can pretty much let go of all controls and she will continue flying straight ahead.
021.
That's cool.
contact. Altimeter 2992.
Airlock.
021.
Actually,
Nice.
you need to trim it down just a little bit more.
Gonna get an offset off.
Remember, get the E-bracket aligned with the aircraft indicator.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
you
they
watch
had it
our
away.
vertical velocity now,
021. Passing 2.5 kilo.
it's pretty much zero.
021.
Yeah.
That's a SA-10. Currently getting a launch warning.
Yeah, I got that. He has a lock on me, but I'm gonna fire HO1 Fox 2.
Okay, so now we are on speed, trimmed out for landing, in full landing
Evasive
configuration. Now, try flying a turn. Remember, rudder use is important.
So you've got the left or right one?
Now she wants to drop down. So you need to correct the throttle. Don't touch the trim. You had it trimmed out for stable flight straight ahead. In a turn, that trim is gonna be upset, but you do not touch the trim, because eventually you will return to that stable flight ahead. And it's gonna be spot on again. Now, if you wanna get out of that turn, you first of all reduce the throttle, because remember, she needs some time to react, and then bank right, back to a level flight.
Got someone locked up of them?
See, right now you didn't give it enough time, so we are now shooting up a little, because we still had too much throttle for stable flight.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure who of them I've got because... Wait a second.
That's the
Maybe.
difficult part to get in your muscle memory if you're trying to line up for a carrier landing. Because
Yeah,
you're
the,
banking left.
throttle management. Yeah.
Because you're banking left, trying to line up for the carrier in a proper 15 to 20 second groove. You're leveling out again, but you didn't reduce the throttle in time, so suddenly you're flying above the carrier.
Yeah. Okay.
Box 2, 3. Active in 8 seconds.
Now, try to use the DLC.
Okay, I've got the left one.
Get the throttle somewhat aligned for the general vertical velocity you want. A little bit less throttle because we are currently in a 1000 feet per minute climb. And let the airplane sort itself out. Now, try to kill the oscillations with the DLC.
So if I go forward on the scroll,
Fox 3
DLC
again.
scroll.
Yep. Watch what your
It
flight
will.
path vector does.
Oh, it dips. Oh wow.
Yep.
And when I release
If
it,
you
it
get
will
it in the opposite
go to
direction,
0.
she's gonna climb.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
That's what you can use to kill the oscillations induced by throttle movement.
So now I want to go down. I can push it forward.
Yep. There you
I'll
go.
Oh.
So everything is missing?
Of course, you need to have the throttle aligned at the somewhat right position, so that margin you have with DLC
Flash.
is going to be enough to
All
get it
those-
in the right direction.
Okay, maybe you're close. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, that makes. Of course. Yeah.
But
Oh,
if
so
you
now
have
we're
noticed,
actually
those
almost
wobbly
equal.
oscillations where she tries to go from -500 to, for example, +500, if you use DLC the right way at the right time, you can kill those oscillations.
Got someone locked up?
Try it out. Reduce the throttle to get in a stable descent of
running?
like 800 feet per minute. Like pull the throttle back maybe half a centimeter.
So I've actually shot 3 missiles.
needle
And they
move
all
down.
missed.
And once it gets to where you want it to be, use the DLC to get it stable.
Oh, that's the wrong way. That's not good.
Yeah, you gotta get used to that. Maybe you need to invert your DLC front wheel so it makes more sense to you naturally.
Yeah. No, I just think I need to get used to this.
Fox 3.
The forward motion is downwards, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I got it the opposite way, I think.
Oh, you do?
Actually, I don't know. It's been quite some time since I was in the pilot seat. But yeah, if you use the DLC wheel at the correct time for the correct amount, you can kill
always
the movement of the flight path vector, which in turn stabilizes your
Fox
vertical
2.
speed.
I'm actually quite unsure why every of my missiles is missing.
That's how you properly line up for a landing. If
So
you
you
have
just
noticed,
you can like tap it.
Yeah,
yep,
splash.
Oh yeah, I see. Wow.
that's what you mostly use to get it down properly on a runway or
Okay,
carrier.
there should be
The
guys.
throttle takes too much time to react. So you keep the throttle at a
From
stable
1 to
setting
3.
and use the DLC for small corrections. Small
So,
tip from me.
so now I can feel it. It wants to move down.
Yep.
So I just give it a little more throttle.
Just a little bit more, like a millimeter more throttle. Kill the oscillations with DLC in order to get the needle stable. If you feel the airplane is around the mark where it naturally wants to fly with the throttle set in the game. So it doesn't go up further and moves down again and oscillates all around that mark below to be. Yeah, small tip from me. Because the throttle is slow to react, if you want to turn in this particular configuration, when you engage in the back turn, at the same time move the DLC all the way to the fly up position.
So when I bank, I just hold the DLC button.
Not the DLC button, but the thumb wheel. And the direction you use when you want to fly up.
Okay.
Like retract the spoilers all the way.
Bank in here.
Yep, at the same time. See, now you don't even need to correct that much with the throttle. And if you come out of the bank, adjust the throttle first, give the engines time to react, and use DLC down input to keep it stable. Remember the rudder. That's what I said earlier on. For speed situations, you really need to use that rudder to keep it more stable.
You guys want to test out this mission?
Just
Yeah,
give
why
us
not?
a few more minutes, so I was about to restart it.
Oh, that's cool. No worries. I'm just gonna start it with
And if you have noticed, we did not adjust the trim in that turn, and it's still spot on now. We are flying stable again. Pretty important when lining up for a carrier, because you only have this 15 to 20 seconds, and you're going to be pretty busy anyway to get that line up properly.
So you do
don't
this
wanna mess
before you
with the
do it.
equipment. Yep.
That's cool.
Okay, so I'm just going to reset in 12 minutes. I suggest we get the airplane back to a normal flight configuration. Go back to the airport and try it out while actually landing.
You think I can do this without the lag?
Yes, you can, because, but you got the airplane to do what you want it to do without touching the controls. So even if you have 0 FPS, it's still gonna land itself.
Unable to comply.
So
First of all, disengage DLC. Retract the flaps. Trim down. Trim it down.
Remove the wheel chocks.
Because every correction we do right now, every retraction we do of the control surfaces is going to induce upwards power. Because remember, when we got set up for this configuration, you only had to trim up. So now it's the opposite way. Gear up, suddenly she wants to move up. Flaps up, she also wants to move up. Now our maneuvering flaps have come out automatically. Trim down, speed up. By the way, did you have the speed brake out?
No. We forgot that.
That's no problem, but it's just making it harder for you. Speed brake is gonna make things easier.
Okay.
Alright, back to stable flight.
Yeah, if we can get this to trim.
Yep, you gotta trim it down. You're only accelerating right now, so all you do is need to trim down. Now, slam the throttles forward, we want to speed up, and give it steady pitch down trim.
We want to go burner? No?
No burner, that's gonna give you not enough time to correct with trim. You can do that if you're more experienced and have enough muscle memory built, but for now, slow and steady. Especially if you only have like 10 FPS.
Yeah.
Okay, so the airport is at our around 3 o'clock.
Okay.
So
So
do
wanna
some
make a
of that
mech?
pilot shit. We are now in a configuration where you can pull some nice maneuvers, so if you like, vertical dive.
What? I can do this?
Sure. Just make sure you don't speed up too much because you need to pull out of that dive again without over-G'ing the airplane.
Remove the wheel chucks.
Unable to comply.
Remember, we are speeding up tremendously, so you need to give it a lot of downforce.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
What degrees? What bearing is the airport?
Somewhere at our 3 o'clock we are gonna do VFR, so we don't really need bearings. We are just gonna look out for the airport.
100.
So I should get below the clouds.
Below the clouds. Airport should be right at our 2 o'clock below the clouds.
Do another one of these.
Upside down, some weird fighter jet maneuvers because we are in an F-14. Dip down below the clouds, 15,000 feet, 14,000, 13,000, 12, 11. There you go. And there's the airport, 2 o'clock. So we want to keep flying straight
Oh,
while
you can see that?
descending. Yeah, I can see the airport.
Oh,
don't
I
worry.
think I see it, yeah.
Keep descending, keep trimming down. Set the throttles to 0.
Mm-hmm.
You want to bank a little bit to the left, maybe 10 degrees heading correction. Wings are sweeping forward, so you need to trim it down. More lift, but we want to keep the nose down.
021, commencing, state 7.3, altimeter 29.9
That's the confusing thing about the F-14. When you slow down, usually you need to trim up on a normal airplane, but because of the wings coming forward, generating a lot more lift than before, you need to trim it down.
Oh yeah, makes sense, yeah.
Up until the point where the wings are forward all the way, then it reverses again and you need to trim up again to keep it stable.
Okay.
Okay, so speed brake out
Uh-huh.
and keep
All
it
the
out
way?
all the way until we are down on the ground. Don't touch the speed brake anymore. Right, same thing as before. Slow down, 250 knots, drop the gear. Remember, need to correct with trim up. 225 knots almost, drop the flaps. Again, correct with upwards trim. DLC enable.
Yes.
And bank right for the L.
And trim.
Yep, trim. Bank right for the airport. Keep it at that speed, because we don't want to slow down all the way to landing speed, because it's just gonna take ages until we reach the runway. 225 is the current max speed. We are at 150 something. A little less than 150 actually. So you can't speed up while trimming down again. Okay, do you see the runway?
I think it's 2 o'clock.
Yep, go straight. Out of that bank, reduce throttle because it's gonna be an upwards movement coming out of the bank. There you go. Let me just check the time to reset. Okay, we got 5 more minutes to get it done. Cash. Good. Just keep flying straight while descending. Wings level, stay on the descent if you want to land. Try to aim for a 3-degree glide slope.
3 degree? Oh, that's up here. And I need to reduce throttle?
Later on, yes.
Oh no, I need to trim to the E-bracket, right?
You need to trim to the E-bracket, and I suggest you bank a little bit to the left so we don't end up right over the runway threshold while flying sideways. We want to have space for that turn to final. Okay, you got it on speed. Nice. Now, same as before, use throttle to get in the general area of where you want to be with vertical velocity, and use DLC to do the fine adjustments. Looking good. Probably your +5-degree line in the hut is right at the horizon, if we are disregarding the mountains in front of us. Correct?
Yes.
That means you need to align the flight path vector with the runway at the +2-degree mark, so it's actually a 3-degree downward slope.
So I need to trim up? No.
No, throttle. You are trimmed
yeah, no,
out.
yeah.
You only need the throttle.
Oh, that's too much.
We got 3 more minutes left to land.
Should I turn in for the... No? Not yet.
No. Hope we can make it to the runway in time.
Well, I got the basics now.
Got 7.6 miles out. We are doing 120 minutes. So... yeah, should be... it's gonna be close time-wise. Fucking server restarts always at the worst possible moment.
Are you in Georgia at war?
Training.
Okay.
But yeah, the way you land the F-14 is set it up exactly the way you have done and align the flight path vector on a 3-degree down glide slope with the runway threshold. And just let the airplane fly onto the runway. Don't flare. So you can pretty much let go of all controls and it will fly itself onto the runway. That's also how you land on a carrier. A carrier is a little more difficult though because the runway on a carrier is sloped to the left.
Oh no.
You've got a super carrier.
Oh.
It will tell you
Restart
how.
now.
Restart.
Okay. Well, I got the basics.
Yeah, that's wouldn't have been any more difficult anyway. You just need to fly it onto the runway without correcting for
So
anything.
I'm only
No
using
flaring, no nothing.
I'll only use the bank to get on course with the runway there, and then I will only use
And rudder.
and rudder, yeah. And then I'll only use the DLC or
throttle.
and throttle. Okay.
Throttle to get in the general area of where you wanna be concerning your descent rate, and DLC for fine adjustments.
Okay.
And also to kill the oscillations by throttle movement.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
And on a carrier it's a little more difficult because, as I said, the runway is sloped to the left 10 degrees So, while approaching the runway, on short final, you're gonna be straight behind the control bridge of the carrier, like the
Oh
big awesome
no.
kind of thing.
This officer guy is back on the server.
And being behind the bridge of the carrier, like the superstructure, the superstructure moving through the wind at about 25 to 30 knots is gonna create disruptions in the air. So you're gonna have a turbulence zone behind the superstructure, straight behind it, which you're gonna cross
right,
in short final.
right before you touch the.
Yeah.
Runway.
It's called the carrier burble.
Okay.
It's gonna give, it's gonna make the airplane react in two different ways. First, you're going to have a pitch up movement. Because of the turbulence, you will be thrown upwards without touching the controls. Directly followed by a downwards movement, which is the most dangerous thing.
Oh.
Just be aware of that. You will see what I mean when you actually try to land on a carrier. So when it throws you up, don't try to correct that much for the upward movement. In terms of reducing throttle, like oh my god, we're gonna overfly the runway. Because it's gonna be directly followed by a subsequent downward movement, which will be fatal if you correct it too much for the upward movement. Because you're gonna have a ramp strike.
Yeah.
And that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, then you'll fly into the carrier.
Exactly.
Okay.
Just be aware of that. It's actually not that hard to correct for once you get it down. But that's currently only simulated for the F14. The F18 does not have such behavior. Although it should.
Probably.
That's by the way true for every airplane landing on a carrier. You have to cross that zone behind the superstructure, which will be full of disrupted air.
And that's simulated in the Tomcat?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Carrier
nice.
burn.
Actually, know the effect, but I didn't notice it's simulated. So when you're LSO, you can actually calculate for this and tell your Tomcat, hey, you gotta get a bit
Pilot
more
needs to
power.
know that and correct for itself. The LSO tries to give correction movements, well maybe some experienced LSO, but generally
Yeah, but you can see how the wind speed.
you try not to correct for the burden, because as I said, it's gonna first be an upward movement directly followed by an equal downward movement. You will simply be thrown around a little. But if we try to correct for the upward movement by reducing throttle, like, oh my god, I don't want to overfly the runway. Yeah, you're gonna be fucked in the downward movement.
Oh, second in.
If you're lucky, you can go into panic and slam the throttles forward, like, oh my god, the wind is approaching very fast. You might be able to get it after the tail carrier again and just go into the mode.
Okay.
Sorry, I was not supposed to leave my computer first.
Gear down. Laps down.
Well, I just wanted to thank you for doing this. Very helpful.
No problem. But yeah, the whole on-speed trim thing we just did. When approaching a carrier, you're gonna do that after the brake turn. Actually, already within the brake turn. You're gonna start setting up the airplane, like rolling the speed brake, stopping the gear, and dropping the flaps. As well as engaging the LC.
So you only have like the return flight to trim it out?
Pattern you have for trimming it out. You gotta get proficient at it to be complete.
I guess it's a lot easier when you have some frames.
Yeah, it is.
Atumi, in field 1-1. Request startup.
Enfield 1-1. Atumi, cleared for startup.
Atumi, in field 1-1. Request taxi to runway.
Enfield 1-1. Atumi, cleared to taxi to runway 31.
Altitude. Altitude. Roll left, roll left. Flight controls. Flight controls.
That was your last bug. Before the bridge.
Atumi, in field 1-1. Request startup.
Enfield 1-1. Atumi, cleared for startup.
Atumi, in field 1-1. Request taxi to runway.